Welcome to the Moore Family Farm. Hey, I've been here like 2 years now. Got a little fruit stand. I give the stuff to the neighbors I have extra of. Main objective was getting the house all up and going. Hadn't been touched. We had to remodel the whole thing. But we've been trying out the animal stuff. Got a little overboard. As I've seen on some videos, saying don't just get all gun-ho and get a bunch of animals. Well, we just did that. We thought we were Noah, got 2 of everything at least. We're down to 10 goats, got 20 chickens, some ducks. See the ducks in front of the chicken house? I bought this tractor there. Got a pretty good deal on that. Came with some equipment with it. Try my garden. Always have a lot of weeds in it though. I still work full time, but I work in the evening, so I got all morning to do the farm stuff. And all my fencing is electric fence, and I do a 5-run. I got a 100-mile box on it that I got 2 ground rods in the ground, and it keeps them in there pretty good. It's got a hell of a jolt. Been shocked quite a few times. Somebody was telling me if they escape, they keep getting through the fence, because I do have 2 that just go through it and don't act like it even shocks them. The rest of them get shocked pretty good. Somebody said to run the first run on the bottom, a hot wire, and then the second one go ground, and then a hot wire, and then a ground. So when they go in between the wires, they ground themselves out. It must be over the hill. There it goes. I'm putting a new fence in the bottom. I moved my electric fence up, and now I'm putting posts in, and I'm going to put a wire fence with a piece of barbed wire on it, but I probably still have a couple runs of electric fence on the inside. That's my barn. That was a good thing came with this property. We have 27 acres. So we're supposed to be getting cleared off. Trying a little experiment. Got me these bags online, and I've been filling them with the grass out of the field, and I've been hanging them up in the barn. This is the attic. It's quite a big attic. I got a lot of storage. I want to get a square baler, and maybe next year I can start baling up some hay. Yeah, this little building came with it. That's from the barn, and that building there, so from the original farm. And there's a white house over there. I don't know if you can see it through the trees. That's the original house for this property. And they must, when they built this house over here, they must have sold that house in 3 acres. Because if you look at the old deeds, that's the original house for that. And this here was stocked full of chunks of wood, of like trim and you know, household wood. The guy made little crafts and stuff, so he saved every little piece of wood. I mean, it was filled to the top. And the real estate guy said, I'd throw a match to it. I saved it. I still got to do some work on it, though. But, this is my little tiny greenhouse. I had a bigger greenhouse you could walk into, and a storm came through in the early spring. Ripped that thing to pieces. My wife bought that at the grocery store. That helped a little bit, but most of the stuff, by that time, I just threw in the ground. Got a lot of sunflower seeds that come up real good. A lot of those ones in the middle came up from last year. I always plant one big row at the end of my corn. But, and I got my martins. That's one thing we don't have around here. And mosquitoes. We don't have any mosquitoes. I knock on wood on that. But we do got the black flies. Got plenty of black flies. You see, I got my tomatoes. I have sweet potatoes and all that grass. And I got zucchinis. Oh, I've been getting lures of zucchini. It's all in this grass here. And then I planted a couple more rows of corn, some late corn, and some green beans, a little late row of green beans. I got cantaloupes. I got pumpkins. They're way early. Got watermelon back in there in the weeds. Got a row of green beans, and I got 3 rows of corn, and then this is my later row right there, so this makes 4. But this 3 rows down here are field corn. I figured I'd try that out and give them for the goats. But this, I got pond. It's got bluegill and bass in there. It's loaded up pretty good. Got a lot of bluegill. I'm gonna try and put some crappie in there, but they only ship them in the fall, so I gotta wait till the fall. And I think I'm gonna put some catfish in there. So I like catfish. So I've been clearing out these woods a little bit. I want to keep some of the trees, so I'm just trying to like thin them out. Like this bunch here, I'm pretty much gonna keep pretty much what's there. I might go through and thin some more out. There's a big cedar right there on the end, and the middle's a poplar. Yeah. I've got the kids, the grandkids, the pool and everything. But we've been here 2 years, and we both work full time, and we're getting along. We're starting to get it. And this is Penny. She had worms real bad, and I gave her a real high dose of I forgot the name of it now, but my sister has a bunch of animals, and she told me to give it to them. Seems to be hopefully it works. She has diarrhea real bad. And this is her sister back here, is Jenny. Penny and Jenny. And Jenny got caught in a fence. I had a piece of regular fence over there. Let's see if we can see it before she don't move. And her horn ripped off her head. And yeah, it broke off. I thought she came in the barn and her whole face was all bloody, and I thought maybe a coyote or something got in there and ripped her face off. I mean, it was terrible looking, right? I was like, oh my God, what happened? And I got in there and I found out it was just a horn. So I tried to put some iodine on there. She screamed like hell. So I had some sprayed antibiotic stuff, you know, and I put some of that on there, and I kept a close eye on it. And I gave her a shot of penicillin. And it actually grew back into a little stub, so I didn't think it'd grow back at all, but it's got a little hard stub there, so doing pretty good now. There's Leroy, my dog. He's scared of everything. We got him from the Humane Society, and seems to be doing all right now. But he used to be real bad. There's the rest of my goats up in the woods eating. I got about, I'd say almost 4 acres. They have the graze fenced in where they can graze and eat and stuff. And they are real picky. They don't like grass. They don't even really like grass. They like weeds. And their favorite's poison ivy. And they like viney stuff like sickles, honeysuckles, and we got these wild trees that grow here. I'm not sure what the name of them are, but they got little berries on them and stuff. And they're not really, they're like kind of will take over real quick. They love the leaves on them. They'll pull them down and eat all the leaves off of them. They've actually climbed up there and knocked that poplar tree down. Pretty much ate the leaves off of that. Got a big old Billy somewhere. See if we can see him. Leroy. He's got shocked with the fence, so he don't usually come over this way. Here's one of my kids. Don't ask me the names. The kids named them, and they named them after some cartoon characters, and I don't know what the heck they are. Oh. And Penny, she has a baby, and her baby's over here, and she's got the same thing. So, and that is the mama of them all. Mama. She's our oldest goat. She's doing pretty good. She had 2 stillborns over the winter, and she got real sickly looking. So I don't know what happened to her, but she recovered from that and is looking pretty good now. But yeah, that's Mama. Billy! Billy! He's up top there. Can't see him up through the woods. Yeah. Hey, girl. See, she's kind of still skinny and everything. I hope they recover from this. I hope this stuff works. Y'all stop. Why y'all gonna be so mean? So yeah, that's my farm. Getting along. Wife has chickens. She has 20 chickens. And she was getting a little over a dozen a day. We've been having trouble with the foxes. So she was letting them out during the day when she went to work. And then when she would get home from work, they would, you know, at nighttime, they would go back in there by themselves and she'd go out there and lock them in. And the fox was starting to come up during the day. So I had to make the pen bigger. And we pretty much keep them in there during the week unless we're home. We let them out free range during when we're home. But the rest of the time they're in the pen. And the fox got a few of them. So we're down to six eggs a day now. That's all they give. Oh, here come the ducks. Guess I ought to feed the ducks while I'm down here. So our plan is, I'm trying to build a little roadside stand. We're on a gravel road. We're a 1/10 of a mile off a regular road. And then we're a mile from the highway. But there's a little place down here that has festivals. They have the Apple Festival, and they just had a Peach Festival, and they do big firework show and that kind of stuff. So get a lot of traffic on this road especially when they have the events and stuff. So I think I would do pretty good with the roadside stand right here in the road. You know, maybe put a sign on the main road. But our objection first off is to sell eggs. And I think what we're going to do is, starting off is just to do the eggs, and then whatever vegetables I get out of the garden. This spring I'm going to try and do honey. I've never done nothing, never messed with no honey before. I also feed the fish, try and get them fat. I got these pellets. There's a place up in Front Royal. We're from Virginia. There's a place up in Front Royal. And it's huge. They got everything. And they had this big cat food fish. So most of the time they come up here and sorry about the camera stuff. Make it dizzy. But look, they're like freaking piranhas coming up there. There's plenty of fish in there. I found out that the bluegill and the bass, you definitely need almost floating bait. They need what they eat off the top, stuff off the top. And probably me feeding them is teaching them more to eat off the top. But yeah. So yeah, this spring I'm gonna try and do some honey. And never done. I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I watch a lot of people on there, and I'm like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Then a lot of them, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. But that's a good way to get going is YouTube. But definitely one guy did advise, when you're starting out, the first year, don't get any animals, don't get anything. Make sure you've got some good fencing, you got a place for them for shelter, you got a place for them to get water, you got a trough, something they can eat out of, like goats. If you put it on the ground, they're going to get worms. So you want some kind of trough. If you put it in just an open trough, they're going to climb in it and they're going to poop and they're going to pee in it. And so you need something where they can only get their heads in. And same with the chickens. You know, you got to have fenced in area. You even got to have the roof covered up because you got hawks and eagles and owls that come in there and get them. But yeah, don't do nothing the first year. Get your stuff together, plan it real good, and then think of what you really want. What kind of animals you really want. We think we're going. The main objective is goats. The place down here will for meat goats. These are all boar goats. Give you $2 a pound for the goats. But we're finding out that you can sell the babies for 100 to 150 with no papers or anything like that. And you might be better off selling the babies. So we might do that. See, we got 10 right now, and they're all females except for Billy up there. And I think we might go with that if we can get some more going, some more goats going, and not any more dying on us. But chickens and the goats. And I think this this spring coming up, next spring, we might get 3 more cows. We had a cow, and he got so big, he was actually a Holstein cow, a steer. And he thought he was a dog, so he'd run up to you, and he'd hit you with your head and fucking knock you on the ground. And he was pretty mean to the goats. He'd almost stomp on them sometimes and stuff. So we took him to the market. We actually, not the meat market, but the auction. We took him there, sold him. And then we had 2 pigs. I see a lot of people with pigs, and I see a lot of people that they put them in there. I had one guy, seems like he does a pretty good job. What he does is he moves them around, like wooded areas like this here. And he'll let the goats go in there first and eat all the grass. And then he'll put the pigs in there. And they're like rototillers. They'll eat everything down to the ground and, you know, dig up the ground. And it'll be like somebody went through there with a rototiller. And he moves them to another spot. The thing is, you still got to feed them. So I don't see where you're being profitable with pigs, because you got to feed them all the time. Where goats, especially in the summertime, as long as there's grass and weeds and stuff, you really don't have to feed them. They can make it on their own with just weeds and grass. I usually give them a little bit for a snack and stuff, but you don't have to. They could make it on just what they eat out here. And pigs, we did 2. And we were feeding them. We had them in a little pen. You had to feed them. And it just seemed like a lot of money. And then to get them butchered and stuff cost a lot. So we ended up, we butchered the one. And then the second one, we actually had a barbecue, invited all the neighbors and everything. And we did that with the 2. But I don't think I'll get pigs again. At least not for a while. Because I don't see any profitable making in the pigs. I mean, I might be wrong, but seems like you got to feed them a lot, and then you spend more than what you get back on a pig. But the cows are big, and they're going to eat a lot of land. And if you keep them through the winter, that's a lot of hay you got to buy, or you got to have a way to get hay, because they're going to eat a lot. And I figured with the 1 cow I had, the 10 goats, and I had 2 ponies. I gave them to my sister. I gave them back to my sister. And we had 2 turkeys, actually. And they would follow you around and attack anything you were around because they were jealous. So I pawned them off on my sister, too. But, yeah, the cows, so you got to feed them with hay. But I figured the 10 goats I had and the 2 ponies, the cow, that I would need at least 11 of those big roll bales of hay, or about 110 of the square bales of hay to make it through the winter for them. And that was just them. So you imagine if you get like 3 or 4 cows, how much hay you're going to need for that. And you got to think, do you have a way to get hay yourself, or are you going to buy it? And then there goes your profit. And then you got to feed them grain and stuff too. So, you know, that's you ain't getting nothing under about $10 a bag for that. So, I mean, you get truckloads and then you get the price down. But, yeah, that's what you got to think of. I mean, is it really profitable to do? And what's the best thing for you? But definitely going to do honey this spring. I see a good market in that. Selling that. So this is my tape for now. And I'll get back with another one. Keep watching and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.